Cricket et al. It's a website. It's a podcast.
Pete, it's a way of life. Ian Hogue over here.
Peter Lawler over here.
And welcome to Cricket et al., your independent cricket podcast. Habitual listeners have perhaps always suspected that Pete and I run a music podcast thinly disguised as a cricket podcast. They will feel somewhat vindicated by our guest today, an old friend of the pod. Please make welcome Bernard Fanning.
G'day, gents. How are you? Repeat offender. Yeah.
Indeed.
Friend of the pod.
Friend of the pod. I like that.
Yeah, you can't take that away from you. You'll always be a friend of the pod.
Oh, that's awesome.
And that was a very memorable pod, wasn't it?
It was.
Beer Garden.
What was the pub called?
Unmentionable pub.
Yes.
In Vauxhall, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Black Dog.
Black Dog.
Yeah,
that's right.
Taylor Swift wrote a song about it after we left.
Is that what it's about? Is it
you
about
missed
that pub?
a chance there.
Oh, yeah, right.
You could have been playing
I could have been
Super
menacing
Bowl,
the
mate.
top of the charts too. Yeah, right.
Well, it's great to have Bernard with us. Bernard is also an old acquaintance of ours. I think I first got in contact with you, Bernard, when we actually had a player at the Yarras whose nickname was Bernard Fanning. Mark Tuig, if you're out there somewhere, we still remember you very fondly at the Yarras. And that was I regaled Bernard with that story at our first acquaintance. Who else do you look like, Bernard? Do you have any other sort of likenesses? People say, "Oh, you're that guy."
Apparently, there's a guy called Dominic Miller who played guitar in Sting's band.
Okay.
Yeah. And a few people have told me that over the years, and I've seen photos of him. Handsome devil.
Yeah.
Of course.
And Willem Dafoe is the other one that I used
that's
to
a
get
good call.
told, apparently.
Long
Skinny face. Probably.
Yeah.
Horse face.
His nickname was Bernard Fanning.
Yeah, apparently.
When Bernard Fanning, William Dafoe's nickname was Bernard Fanning too.
When he was playing for the Yarras, yeah.
And Bernard Fanning played cricket. Your nickname was Stumpy, wasn't
Stumpy.
it?
No, that was my dad's.
Was it because you were a wicket keeper?
No,
either?
it wasn't.
No,
that's what my dad called me, but that was because I was so short.
Like Bruce Laird. Bruce Laird's nickname, Stumpy.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No, I think there was a book called Grumpy Stump, and it was about a tree stump, like a kid's book, which I think I still have.
Right.
Wow.
But Dad called me Stumpy.
And that's a picture of you, of course, playing cricket behind you now. If you just lean back, that is just one great photograph.
That is brilliant.
Yeah.
The terry toweling hat, down on one knee, wearing one pad. What stroke have you played there?
It's a sweep shot, I would call that.
A sweep shot at that age. That's pretty. You were very advanced.
Yeah. That would be like 77 or 78 probably, I reckon. Something like that. I would have been eight or so.
Yeah.
Playing for Wests in Brisbane.
Playing for West.
Yeah.
When did the cricket dream die? When did you realise?
I was just talking to someone about this. I think once I got out of went from club cricket into high school cricket. I played GPS cricket I went to a nice Catholic boys' school. And as soon as I started playing 13As or something in that, I was just like, holy cow, these guys are so much better.
Yeah.
And they were actually hopeless compared to the really decent club kids.
Did I see that?
They weren't hard enough. Private schools didn't really produce many decent cricketers until they started giving them scholarships in the last 15, 20 years, right?
Well, it's often been said in Australian cricket that none of them came. And there was a period there where, I think Ed Cowan might have been the guy who broke the mold in some ways.
And Casper. Well, Casper went to state high, which was part of that network.
The private schools build walls around you. Don't let you play club cricket on the weekend so you don't get roughed up by someone.
You don't get hardened up. Yeah, absolutely.
Is there a Powderfinger Cup played up?
There is. Up between the school that I went to and the school that Hoggy and JC went to, Terrace and Grammar, there's a T20 competition.
T20, come on, Bernard.
Well, they were under 15s, I think they are. I think they're 15s, yeah. Well, actually, it started as a T20 thing, but now it's like an aggregated comp across.
Right, okay.
I think from year 8 right through to year 12, they have some point system where they all play on the same weekend and that play for the Powderfinger Cup, which I'm glad to say Terrace has owned for quite a while.
Well.
Yeah, well, we did a job for the other school in that cup.
Grammar.
Yeah. Yeah, it didn't go all that well. They wouldn't let Gideon in. And then I had a raging argument with one of the old boys from the board about Alan Jones. Do you remember?
Oh, I do. Actually.
Yeah, he worked there, didn't he?
Yeah.
I think he was just a teacher there or something. Yeah.
Classic day out with cricket et al.
Oh, yeah.
It really was.
But you know what?
It was eventful.
They're the last two things I would put together, Brisbane Grammar School and cricket et al. Seriously, that is not...
They didn't know whether to fuck us or fight us.
Anyway, the breakfast was quite nice.
Yeah, I'm sure it was.
Yeah. The encouraging thing, Bernard, is that I noticed that you do actually have the pad on the left leg in that photo.
I do.
So you did know that you weren't batting at the other end.
Yeah.
That you had to have it when you would have had it on the right leg.
Yeah.
Isn't that a great curio of the days when you only wore one pad?
Yeah. Well, there was one kid.
Really vividly. Yeah, there was one kid.
There was one kid. And so you'd be sharing the pad with the other, with who you're opening with or who you're batting with. And then the other two would also be padded up with their one pad because wickets used to tumble pretty fast in those games as well.
Remember exchanging protectors with the batter who was coming off?
That's a trauma that's burnt into my memory until someone told me to wear two pairs of undies.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And put them between them.
Yep.
Let's get to the serious question.
Yeah.
Have you got an 11 for us, Bernard Fanning? The Australian team's being announced this week.
Is it this week? It is this week.
My mail is that they're waiting until the Melbourne Cup has run.
Until we've had this podcast. Yeah.
And they will be listening assiduous. Who's going to open? Who do you want to open?
The bowling. Yeah. I think it's Stark and Hazelwood. We'll go backwards. Boland, Hazelwood, the other way around. Hazelwood, Boland, Lyons, Stark, Carey, Green, Head, Smith, Labuschagne, Renshaw, Khawaja.
Oh, that's Queensland loyalty there.
It is to a certain extent. That's kind of who I would pick at the moment, but you could easily go Renshaw / Weatherald, / anyone. I watched Kellaway bat for the first time the other day. That guy's awesome.
I'd like he's good. Looks the good stuff.
He looks tidy. He's got everything.
I'd love him to have another year in first class cricket.
And I mean the same with Constas. He's going to be a great player, but maybe not ready yet.
Yeah, I think so.
But I don't know. I just got the vibes from them picking Renshaw in the one-day side. And I heard Spencer Johnson on a rival podcast, great cricketer, talking about how the one-day side, the one-day squad now is sort of considered an avenue towards what red ball cricket, which is interesting because they do their bowling loads, maybe more for the bowlers than anything. What's your 11?
There's always a difference, isn't there, between the 11 that you would like them to pick and the 11 you think that they will.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Go on. Gideon, what do you reckon?
Well, actually, can I just have one caveat, Gid, is that I think no matter what happens, unless Webster is in the 11, it's really unlucky and unfair on him because that guy's done absolutely everything right.
Yeah.
And the other alternative, obviously, is Marnus to open and Green at 3 and Webster at 6. So,
are you? Do you sign up to this theory that you can bat anywhere?
I think you should be able to. But I don't think that's necessarily true. No. I do like the idea of an opener being picked, though. That's part of why I think Renshaw is a bit of a future proof as a pick. And aside from his abilities in the cordon and he's now bowls a bit of handy off spin as well.
Well, you were described as a young Greg Chappell.
Aspiring
Greg Chappell when that ran in the Courier Mail, was it?
I think so, yeah.
Which later rejected you for a cadetship.
That's what they did. They did twice. Twice. I made the shortlist twice and they rejected. Thank God.
Mate, Bernard, don't worry. I was rejected for a cadetship by the Geelong Advertiser.
Yeah, right.
Well, yeah. I was not that I'm bitter.
You ended up being a much better writer than me, Gid.
Greg Chappell has, of course, plumped for. He wants Mitch Marsh to open.
Oh, does he? Yeah, right. Okay.
No one knows more than Greg Chappell. It doesn't mean he's always right. But
I don't mind the idea. Any of them, honestly. Weatherall would be great, but
interesting journey.
Oh, amazing.
I was very excited to discover when I was looking at photographs of him that he looks like Mr. In-Between.
Oh, yeah, right.
The actor.
All right, pick him on that basis.
Oh, I think so, just to make me chuckle. Yeah.
That means Spencer Johnson should be opening, shouldn't he? If we're picking on looks.
An 11 of good-looking blokes.
Yeah.
Stoinis
and Johnson opening.
hey, Fanning, you're going to get a call. Where are you going, Gibbs, with the 11?
Well, look, I mean, I think Bernard's called it pretty right. The thing is that we won't get an answer when they do pick it because they'll pick a squad. They'll pick 14. And they ruin it. They ruin the big reveal by doing that all the time. Oh, we've got to keep our options open, flexibility. So, these baggy squads travel around Australia for months at a time. And if you're not in the first 11, you end up kind of just mucking around in the nets and running drinks. And I actually think that's kind of pointless. I think every cricketer worth their salt would rather be playing than hanging around as a reserve. But these days, expenditure rises to meet income. There's the money to pay for these huge squads. So that's what we'll end up doing.
A huge squad is a bad sign. A really bad sign.
Is that concussion sub as well, though, that they need to have 14 for? Do they?
You kind of need a like for like. So you should have a spare.
You've got to have a spare batter and a spare bowler, right?
So, but you'll have Inglis in there, I'd say, because Inglis is also can be a spare keeper as well, can't he? You'd have more than one bowler, so I reckon you'd probably have Doggett and Nisa.
Yeah. Is Nisa fit? Because he didn't play the last Shield game.
So possibly won't have Nisa there. That was a very good point, actually. Sorry, Sean Abbott will be the other one then. But I think that there's some talk that they might, it's this way or that depending on Green's fitness. Now, Green was supposed to bowl in this Sheffield Shield round and didn't, but he was bowling out the back. You say you've been watching a lot of the Shield this summer.
I've been watching 3 games at once at the moment. Yeah, so I was late for sound check the other day. Well, Usman was on 86 or something, and I was trying to hang around for his 100, but didn't quite make it. Didn't he? Yeah, got out right after that.
I put the Moz on Weatherall the other day,
right?
Because I'd been watching all day, and I went home, I went back to St Kilda to pick up my gear so I could go to training. And as I was walking up to the tram stop, I walked past the junction, and there's South Australia. They're about to start their innings, so I'll hang around until the close. Weatherall lasted 3 balls, so that ruined his chances. That strange superstition that you get when you bring it, you feel like you bring a player bad luck. Are you familiar with that idea, Bernard?
Oh God, yeah. It's like especially Origin football or something like that, where you can't move from your seat. I mean, I know that cricketers have all those superstitions. You were ironing last time your team won a thriller, so you got to start ironing with 10 overs to go or some crap like that. Yes, absolutely. All my life I've had those suspicions. Yeah.
Okay, so what are you going to do on the first morning of the Ashes?
Well, it's Perth, isn't it? So it's 1 in the Arvo for us. Look, I'll probably just go down the nets, hit a few.
Yeah, that's it.
He's telling me that he probably won't go to the Gabba because people talk to him and it's too serious to be. It's
too important.
In conversation, it's too important.
I don't get to see enough cricket.
He doesn't
having
get fierce
too
focus
much
if he goes to the ground.
Apparently, when Sir Robert Menzies used to go to the cricket at the MCG, he would take his personal private secretary John Bunting and put him on the aisle. So no one could talk to him while he was watching. So you need a roadie. Yeah. You need a sort of or a bodyguard or a bulwark to keep the public at bay.
I mean, it's always pleasant, but it's just one of those things where, I mean, especially this series is, I mean, we couldn't hope for a series even as great as last summer. Yeah. But you've got your fingers crossed for it. Even though I've come around in the last few weeks from thinking, it would be great if it was a really close series, and I'm going full Glenn McGrath now. I want Bazball absolutely demolished. So
was it the previous summer that we ran into at the Gabba? And you weren't having a good time. You've been dragged from commentary box. Box. You looked a bit cranky. You're talking about one-day cricket as a preparation for Test cricket, and I think it's becoming increasingly so. But my eyes were drawn to the headlines in the papers this morning. Not that we're getting hysterical about the Ashes here at all, but this is code cricket. Shameful England world record to trigger green deck Ashes mania. Now that's a headline, isn't it?
Whoa,
Mate,
that is.
that guy should write lyrics.
Yeah, absolutely. That's written by AI, mate,
And
for sure.
That's on top of the 5-minute guide to the Melbourne Cup.
Yeah.
Shameful England. They were terrible on the green deck.
Oh, so good to see, isn't it?
It's awful.
Yeah, let's hope they're. I mean, it is interesting, the idea about Wood and Archer leading the attack, though, isn't it? The idea that they could last more than 3 tests in a row each. Who could say? They certainly don't have the record body-wise to be able to do that.
No.
They're both great bowlers when they're on.
Well, Wood has barely played any cricket in his career, hasn't he? So if they could get, I mean, what are they? They must be like 3 tests would be a miracle, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I noticed a quote from Cullum after the one-day game. He said, I think when we're confronted with good flat wickets, we're a very, very good cricket team.
Wow.
right.
So it's not just the decks for the bowlers over here, but seems to be the focus, isn't it? Will England be able to bat on Australia's decks?
And the bounce as well.
Yeah. I've seen Harry Brooks bat. I reckon he can. But anyway.
Yeah.
Well, 2023 was a flat wicket series, wasn't it? And Australia and England was seen to good advantage. And Australia did struggle when they didn't have Lyon. They really missed Lyon that series, but they will miss him less this summer. Or I think his importance in Australia has been just steadily subsiding over the last 4 or 5 years. And the number of overs that Lyon is bowling per test match is receding. As the double-coated Kookaburra has had more and more influence.
Yeah, and I think that he's been struggling for rhythm in the Shield games as well. My mail was that he wasn't even supposed to play that last Shield game, right? But he volunteered to because he's
just wants to get the muscle memory going. Yeah.
You would think the harder ball and the prouder seam would suit his style of bowling just as much. But there's even taught now you get through the game so quickly. Perhaps you don't even need that.
Yeah.
But you'd hate to see that happen in cricket, wouldn't you?
Oh, yeah. It'd be terrible. I mean, that's essentially what England are doing with Bashir in the squad, isn't it? They're bringing a spinner.
Yeah, you're right.
That's like that. He's not up to that standard. You wouldn't think. Not especially not our sort of decks, maybe in India or something, but.
Well, they might end up playing jacks.
Yeah.
And batting him at 9.
Who can bat.
Who can bat.
Field.
And they kind of fancy the idea of having someone like that in the lower order who can take the attack up and can continue the Bazball mantra.
Yeah.
It's interesting how we fill the space with mindless speculation, isn't it? Is there an equivalent in music? Is there a sort of a speculative space in music that people sort of talk about the next Bernard Fanning album?
Isn't that Frank Zappa's quote talking about music is like dancing about architecture, right? Isn't it something like that? So it's true though, to a certain extent, isn't it?
I'm sure young people used to hang around waiting to see who was going to make the bill of the big day out.
Yeah, I guess there used to be an element of that. But yeah, look, I mean, music, there's a lot of dribble about, there used to be a lot of dribble about music, but it's changed a lot, hasn't it? There's so much less. Music holds so much less status in what passes for society these days. Popular culture, yeah. Oh, absolutely. It's been largely reduced to a soundtrack now. How we grew up thinking of soundtracks, which was music in the background of vision, and now that's essentially what music has become, because the way that it's marketed, the way that it's distributed is through screens.
It is, right. And that sort of flattening of the world's had a pretty deleterious effect on local music, hasn't it?
Oh,
I mean, because, once upon a time you clip a picture out of the newspaper if it was of your pop star from overseas and get the record on impulse. Now it's just whoosh. It's so accessible, isn't it?
Oh, it's just everywhere, yeah.
Yeah. And it's made it very difficult for Australian culture to sort of, and Australian music scene to stand on.
For new music in particular, absolutely. I mean, there's a bit of a resurgence of what's called legacy catalog, which is what I would fit into. My music would fit into. Yeah. A lot of what you guys would probably listen to as well.
We're just hanging out for the fall reunion.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, imagine the
50th anniversary.
The Fall Guys being called a legacy band. My God, there'd be a furious response, I'd imagine. But like it's a very seriously difficult time for the music industry in general, and that goes for everybody, promoters as well as bands and labels and everyone.
Yeah. Do you look back and sort of think, well, we had it a lot easier than these guys?
Oh, well, Powderfinger in particular, we had it very easy in some regards, in the sense that people were still buying. Some people buying 4 CDs a year, some people buying 40. But buying music. Now
so you were saying like 500,000 copies of albums more.
Yeah,
right?
at some points, yeah. And, and now people buy the entire history of recorded music for $10 a month. If they even bother buying it. If they listen to the ads, they don't even have to pay for it. Yeah. So it's, no business model can work that way. Well, it can. It's just the distribution that comes from the streaming companies towards the artists who actually create the content is what it's called now, is so abysmal. But, anyway, we don't want to get bogged
Same thing happens with book publishing, doesn't it?
Yeah.
We get you get cents in the dollar for an ebook.
Yeah.
Compared to a real book. It makes no sense.
Yeah, it doesn't make
sense. That it should be balanced like that. I don't get it at all.
And especially because, and a record label adds a packaging deduction to a stream. There's just the obscenity of that sort of business model.
Well, while we're on that topic, there's a reason you're here, aren't you? Because I was just talking to my sister who's bought tickets for your Melbourne show.
Oh, awesome.
LA this morning. Okay. She got early bird tickets.
That, by the way, is not the reason I'm here. The reason I'm here is to find out who you guys think the 11 are.
Well, you can go now, Bird.
Yeah.
You tipped it.
I've got, I think I've got Weatherall in front of Renshaw.
Have you?
Well, okay. My mail was a few weeks ago. He was in front of him.
Right.
People who know better than me.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh, look, I'd be happy either way.
Okay.
I think. I hope they pick Marnus at 3. That's the thing because that's where he bats best.
And we're not totally convinced about Green as a number 3. Gideon?
No, not in Australia. No, and maybe not in England either. No, we haven't seen enough of him. But if it's a huge burden for a player of uncertain fitness to carry if he's going to bowl, and I think they want him to bowl with an attack as old as ours. I think there is some pressure on him to contribute overs. No one's ever batted at 3 and bowled successfully in really the history of the game. How many all-rounders have there been from number 3? Maybe Shane Watson briefly at stages.
Jacques Callis.
Jacques Callis, but not always, and they're real kind of outliers.
Yeah.
I think that's a huge ask. I kind of still like Green at shouldn't really bat higher than number 4, I don't think.
Yeah.
It's hard to do, though, isn't it? Did either of you see Steve Smith bat on return to Sheffield Shield cricket?
I was watching.
What did you think?
I was watching. It was awesome to see, actually. And he's gone back to his elaborate leaves. He's doing the elaborate leaves and pointing at the bowler with the blade. And
you like that?
I love it. Well, that's when he gets the most runs. That's when he had his. I understand why it's annoying, but for me, it's also when he's at his most productive. So there's something about, what do the grade cricketer boys call them? The Ritalin brothers, is it? I think they call Marnus and Steve Smith, which is genius.
The Ritalin brothers is very good, yes.
But I initially found it annoying, but I'm very endeared to it now.
Yeah. It wasn't the world's greatest bowling attack.
No,
with all due respect to the guys that were bowling.
Yep.
But he looked like that Steve Smith who used to at the really good old days, didn't he?
Imagine coming from New York, 3 months in New York, and just walking into that sort of that style of innings. It's just awesome. I just like also that he occupied the crease for quite a while and that he was there for for ages. And same with Usman as well, that he batted for quite a while.
Yeah, but he pulled out all the tricks, Smudge. He played all the shots, the 360 shots. Hopefully he can play like that in the Test series as well. Yeah. But it's been a while since I've seen him that good at.
I enjoyed the first 20 minutes.
When he wasn't very good.
Yeah. Where he wasn't very good. Yeah. It was kind of fascinating. It was like, hearing someone, I don't know, someone who had not played the guitar for 10 years, suddenly going to, and then all of a sudden it all came back to it.
The valve amps warmed up, didn't they?
Yeah.
Anyone watched the cricket last night? Anyone?
I did.
Yeah, I did. Yeah. Me too.
I was in a hotel room by myself, drinking a beer, watching the T20, thinking, this is luxury. This is living. Yeah. It was pretty awesome. Yeah. So, it was good. Geez, they've got it's just the talent pool in India is just unbelievable, isn't it?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
I
mean,
Jaiswal's not even there in the squad, is he?
Yeah.
And that guy's looks like a generational talent.
Yeah.
But not even getting a look in. But for the IPL, I don't follow the IPL closely at all. So I miss that whole sort of scenario.
You follow the BBL closely, though.
I do. I like the BBL. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What do you like about it?
Oh, it just feels like summer. I think for me now, I've finally come around to that idea that, especially if there's been Test cricket on that, and then there's a game that night, that's an absolute dream come true.
Is it?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I think that happens. In January, the Sydney Test maybe is that when it starts to cross over?
It crosses over in that January period.
But I just love the idea that there's a game of cricket on at night that you can, and because it's T20, I'm not too concerned by the result.
Yeah,
it's because it can go anyway, and until I realised that T20 is actually about the fielding captain more than anything. I reckon that's kind of what the game is about, how they're managing the game. I didn't really understand T20, but I think I'm starting to get a bit more of a handle on it now.
Do you go to games?
I've been to the Heat a few times, yeah.
They play any of the songs when you're there?
They did. The first time I went, actually, I swore I would never go again.
Because they played?
It was, I called it overtainment. It was just like there was a song between every ball. Even it would just hit the fielder's hand.
Yeah.
And then there's, My Happiness is on. Wow. Like this is not making me very happy. I can tell you. Look, I just didn't I wasn't into the kiss cam and the dancing and all that stuff. I get why they do it, but I just enjoy it a lot more watching it on TV.
So, Bernard, you're touring it's the 20th anniversary of Tea and Sympathy, your first solo album, just to get the product placement exactly right.
An outstanding album, I might add.
A great album. And a great year, 2005. It was a great Ashes year. And I just wondered, I was reading before that you actually had this kind of burst of songwriting in the lead up to the Ashes.
Yeah.
So does that year qualify as something special? Because first of all, you wrote all these great songs, and then you watched all these great Test matches.
Yeah, but so I recorded in Bath in England in June, and then I went to Spain after I finished that to meet with my now wife, who wasn't my wife at the time, and 2 weeks later, the Ashes was starting. So, and I had already organised tickets to come back, and there was a sort of an insurance policy there in case the relationship thing wasn't going to work out. And so I came back and went to Lord's. So I went to that first test, the first 2 days of that first test of that series.
Right.
But then I couldn't wait to get back to Spain. So I went back and I did not, all I did was read, I think you were writing for the Oz then.
I was writing for The Guardian.
Oh, for The Guardian. Yeah. So that's what I was reading.
Yeah.
I wasn't seeing any of it because I know it's only 20 years ago, but we weren't able to get streams or any of that stuff in those days. So I was seeing no vision of it. I was just reading.
That's it. Bernard, you jinxed Australia
it was
in 2005.
actually my fault.
Because you weren't
Yeah,
watching.
you saw the one test match that we won.
I know. Well, so if I'd gone to every test.
I'm checking your tour dates.
See, let's talk to Cricket Australia about this. If I'd gone to every test, it would have worked out better. But I mean,
It worked out pretty well though with the Spanish.
Yes, it did.
Yeah, it did. Yeah,
still
she's
around. My wife.
How's
Yes,
the Spanish going?
muy bien. Well, no, we've just been there for an extended trip. We were in Spain for about 6 weeks, and it was great. It was awesome. Fantastic place.
And you've re-recorded a song from the album.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. What happened? You'd lost our phone numbers, obviously. So you had to get...
tried you guys.
Yeah,
I just couldn't get through.
Somebody else to help you out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I thought you guys would come in and put some bloody spiky, filthy guitar on it and start yelling some kind of anti-government messages all over it.
I've got footage of Gideon playing bass guitar at the...
You do, actually.
At the Museum of Rock in Liverpool.
Yeah.
Something
Awesome.
like that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Unreal. I'd like to see that, actually. We re-recorded Watch Over Me, which was a song from Tea and Sympathy, which in the absence, so there's a song called Wish You Well, which a lot of people would probably be familiar with on that record. It was the big song from that record, but it wasn't released as a single. So it couldn't be nominated for the ARIAs, right? So this is hilarious kind of industry garbage, but Watch Over Me was released as a single because it was as a fundraiser for a charity called Young Care in Brisbane. So I wanted actually to bring income towards those guys, right?
Yeah.
So because it was the only single off Tea and Sympathy, it was nominated for the ARIAs for Single of the Year, which is just ridiculous. It's kind of hymn-like.
It's a hymn. It is a hymn.
Yeah.
It's exactly the word I have in mind.
And so at the ARIA Awards, they play all the nominations for the Single of the Year. And so I was going to be playing an acoustic guitar in front of just me and playing guitar and singing in front of 6,000 people at the ARIA Awards, none of whom had any interest whatsoever in what I was doing. So Casey Chambers and Claire Bowditch joined me to do it, and we did a version of it where they sang a verse each, made it a lot more interesting. And we'd never made a recording of it, so we decided to make one for this because there was the ARIA's version, but it wasn't. It was a live recording and whatnot, so we...
Are you releasing it as a single?
No, not that I know.
Like singles, Bernard.
So what's it like to revisit a song 20 years after you wrote it?
It's great, actually. And I mean, Claire and Casey are both really good friends of mine anyway, and both incredible singers. So having a song like that and each of us singing a verse actually gives the song a different angle. Yeah. It gives 3 different angles. And because I guess it's an appeal, the song is to something bigger, wider, something out there that could actually be a guardian over your life. It's not particularly religious or anything. I'd watched the funeral of the Pope. It would have been John Paul II.
Yep.
And because I grew up Catholic, I'm a very, very well-balanced Catholic.
We share. Yeah.
And have no affiliation really with any of that anymore. But I still think that the ceremony and that side of it is really interesting and fascinating and lacking in society and in our lives, I think. And so I watched that funeral and all of the hymns and the choirs and stuff. It was crazy. It's an incredible event. And so I was kind of trying to write a hymn. That was the idea.
Right.
Yeah.
They're pretty interesting. So you were at a sort of difficult point in your life, weren't you? It was
I'd just come out of a long-term relationship.
Yeah. And of course your brother
my brother had died a couple of years before that as well. And
who was the guiding light in your love of cricket?
Yeah, that's right. So there's a lot of reasons for me to be kind of looking elsewhere for help, I guess, as well, Gid, that in that grieving process, you sometimes clutching at straws. You're not really sure where to look or what sort of appeal you should be making.
Can it be sort of a rich sort of creative period too, can't it?
Oh, I think doubt doubt is one of the greatest drivers of creativity that there is. I mean, it can also be one of the biggest killers. So it kind of works both ways. That thing of being unsure about something, especially as a songwriter, makes you want to explore it and look further into it. I think probably for lyrics more than the actual music side of it.
The sound on that record's beautiful and unique. Did you go searching for that sound?
Well, Chad Blake, the guy who produced it, had made, he'd made Tom Waits records, he'd made Crowded House records and all sorts of stuff.
None of which sound like that.
No. But I guess the Crowded House connection was kind of how we'd been put together. And
through Froome, was it? He worked with Froome.
Yeah, Mitchell Froome was his producer. Yeah, so he was the engineer for Mitchell. And Chad's got a really unique approach where his idea about sound is that it's actually just variations of distortion. So he uses distortion on almost everything. So acoustic guitars, there's distortion all over the record, but you can't hear it.
It's I would have said exactly the opposite.
That's right. It sounds really clean, but
high mountain sort of purity.
Because he's such a brilliant mixer. He has his way of balancing those distortions out to make them sound clean and make some things poke out and others sit back. So, and I mean, had the incredible good fortune of having Jerry Marotta play drums, who was, he played drums for Peter Gabriel, played for the Hall & Oates, Stevie Nicks, all of these great artists. And Keith Duffy, who's the bass player for The Cause, came and did it as well. And it was just an incredible experience, amazing fun in an 18th century mill in Bath. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Right.
And do you play the album live? Is that how you do it, or do you rearrange it? Is it?
Oh, it's rearranged. It's not
rearranged for a live.
It's not in order. We we play through all the songs, and then because there's a bonus disc with the vinyl that's now available for the 20th anniversary, there's a couple of songs that didn't make it. They were called the Red-Headed Stepchildren. They get a Guernsey on the gig, but it was mainly they're actually both good songs. It's already 14 songs long, Tea and Sympathy, which is actually a very long record.
I was going to say because it was released on CD at the time, wasn't it? So when you go put that on an LP, you got to press 2.
No, it still fits. It's 42 minutes, I think. So above 45 minutes is when you start to lose quality on vinyl,
right?
Which is why the C90 tapes and all that sort of stuff, you could fit a whole record on them mostly.
Yeah. Oh, that dates us both.
Doesn't it?
But there was nothing worse than when they went over at the end and you had that, it was just messy.
Yeah, it was pretty bad, wasn't it? Yeah. But I mean, I still think albums, I think 10 songs is 5-a-side is perfect for a record. And I do very much like the approach of an A and B side to records, to albums still, even though they're rarely presented like that these days.
It's become a thing, hasn't it, to come out and play your records? Have you ever been to any of those shows?
I have, yeah. I've seen the Models do Local and or General and Alpha Bravo.
Oh, wow. That'd be good.
Bloody good both times.
First time I saw the Models was with David Bowie at Lang Park.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
The Let's Dance tour.
Serious Moonlight. Yeah.
High trousers.
Yeah. It was incredible. Yeah.
So Bernard, Tea and Sympathy.
Yep.
It's an interesting choice as an album title. What's it meant to convey and what was the inspiration?
There's a film called Tea and Sympathy.
Oh, the Robert Anderson play.
A play which was also made into a film. So it was I guess it was a known phrase in that sense, but I am an avid tea drinker and, excuse me, this record, because of the content, I guess, of the record and the kind of lyrical content, there was a lot of my flatmate prior to this time used to call me Misery Guts. So, because all of my songs are so depressing. So, there's a fair bit of feeling sorry for myself in there as well, I guess. So, I mean, it was just, I think it was one of those things where, I didn't decide on the name. I remember, but I was sitting on the beach in Spain with Andrea when we were first on a holiday together, and and I wrote it in the sand. I don't know why, it just appeared in my head, and I wrote it in the sand. And I asked her how to say it in Spanish, and it's te y simpatia, but it just doesn't work the same way. Yeah, so it was one of those things, Gid, where the idea appeared and it just felt right.
I was wondering whether it was an allusion to Let It Bleed, because there's a reference, isn't there, to tea and sympathy being provided by Jock
on the
Let
credits.
It Bleed.
Yeah, on the credits as well. Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, well, Let It Bleed was that Stonesy country Stones loomed large over the writing of this record. That, and the country Led Zeppelin, even country Beatles. George Harrison's All Things Must Pass, all of those, and Tom Petty's Wildflowers were all really big influences for me at that time. So yeah, I mean, I had probably read that sitting there looking at Let It Bleed anyway, but it wasn't a direct lift. But yeah.
So this gives me an opportunity to talk a bit to invite you to tell the story of introducing your wife to Keith Richards.
Yeah.
Which is a great story.
Yeah.
I've got to hear it again.
You want the whole one? The whole thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hang on, this is only a C90 tape,
Yeah,
mate.
is this a C90 or what?
No, we've got the C1.
You got the TDK. Yeah. Andrea and I were married at the beginning of 2007, I think, end of 2006. I was on tour with Powderfinger, so until the middle of the year, we didn't have a chance to go on a honeymoon or anything. So we went to Spain first, to see the family, to see her family and all that sort of stuff. We were over there, and we had bought tickets to go and see the Spanish National Ballet performing at a flamenco show in Madrid, which is a very unusual thing for them to do, right? And so we were taking grandma, mother-in-law, and Auntie Anna, and Andrea and I. Anyway,
you're working the whole family.
Yeah, we're working the whole family. And anyway, we're catching the bus into town, because that's kind of how you travel in a city like that, a bus or metro. And I saw something happen. I either heard Jet, the band Jet, coming from a shop front, or I saw a poster for them or something. Anyway, I hadn't spoken to Nick for ages, so I sent Nick Sester a text saying, "Hi mate, how you going? Where are you?" And he wrote back straight away, and because I thought they were in Asia or something. Anyway, he wrote back straight away. He goes, "Oh, yeah, I'm pretty good. We're just on the road and whatnot." And I was like, "Oh, okay, where are you?" And he's like, I'm in Madrid." And I said, "What? I'm in Madrid." And he's like, "Well, I didn't think you were here." And I was like, "Oh, I didn't know you were here." And I said, "What are you doing?" He said, "We're playing with the Stones tomorrow night. Do you want to come?" I was like, okay.
Nah.
So anyway, we go to the National Ballet. I said, "I can't." He said, there's a party on tonight. You should come to the party. The Stones are throwing a party and we've got a table there or something." I was like, "I can't come. I'm going to the Spanish National Ballet
With my grandmother and
my grandmother." Anyway,
mother-in-law.
Fate intervened. We get to the theatre. There's a fire alarm. Something happened, and the show was cancelled. And it was like one of the greatest
lit a match
moments of
underneath
euphoria in my life. So
underneath
straight
the
on
smoke alarm.
I was like, "I'm coming to the party. Get me sorted." We go there, go and get into the party. It's in this beautiful hotel in central Madrid. And the Stones have this party. So,
Does grandma come to the party?
No, we didn't have her. No, sorry, there's only a plus one. Yeah.
And I take her.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we go to the party. I'm sitting there with the Jet boys at this party. We're all frolicking around, having a great time. And then Ronnie Wood first comes bounding in. And I think just because of how I looked, and I probably had a, velvet jacket and pair of flares on, he thought I was in Jet. So he starts giving me a shoulder rub, going, "Hey, good on you boys," and all that stuff. He's like a horny teenager or something, that guy. It's hilarious. And then, because these guys that was the security for Jagger and Richards were both Australian ex-SAS guys.
Yeah, they come to the cricket.
Yeah. And they were both really nice fellas, and they were both Powderfinger fans.
Yes.
And so they came over and chatted, and they said, do you want to meet Keith? Because Jagger wasn't there or anything, just Ronnie and Keith. And I was like, hell yeah, that'd be awesome. And then, so it turns out there's a line. Keith's actually sitting there like,
that sort of line.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, different kind of line. Yeah. He's sitting on what basically constituted a throne on a semi-stage. There's a big line of people waiting to meet him. Anyway, we join the line, and then this bloke comes up, takes us up, and he goes, oh, Keith, this is Bernard Fanning. He's in an Australian band called Powderfinger, and blah, 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 or whatever. And I was like, oh, g'day, Keith. Lovely to meet you, whatever. Shook his hand. It was like shaking the hand of a bird, basically an eagle or something. And then he was completely disinterested in me. And then the security guy introduces my wife, Andrea, to him, and his entire demeanor completely changed. Like he sat up straight in his chair. And he goes, and he looks at her, like gives her this absolute killer stud look in the eyes, and grabs her hand and goes, hello, darling, and kisses her hand, and just keeps looking at her, right in the eyes, right in front of her husband. Yeah. It was just, and I was like, this is the most perfect Rolling Stones story.
He's Keith.
He's Keith.
It's okay.
Yeah. Just classic.
And truth is, it's probably, she's safe, I think, isn't she?
I think she's safe. I'm
Hang on.
so sorry. I just lost my head.
Oh, well, we'll get the cricket head Al Roadie to plug you back in.
Yeah. I'm back. Anyway, sorry, I did digress there for a while.
No, we
feel free to edit 90% of that.
No. Love that story. Great to get it on the record.
So you play a bit of cricket on the road, because there's a kind of a rock and roll cricket tradition, isn't there? Obviously, Mick's not playing cricket anymore, or Charlie, but
no.
What's
on the road? You mean
Coldplay? I think you played with Coldplay.
Yeah, Powderfinger played. We had a big day out Ashes against Coldplay.
Right. Did you win?
Yeah, of course we did.
Of course.
Come on, mate. It was Coldplay. And Robert Forster from the Go-Betweens played on the Coldplay side. He's a big cricket fan, Robert.
Very big cricket
Loves
fan.
it, yeah.
Yes. Yep.
And I was keeping, actually, and I sledged him. I started sledging him when he came out to bat, and he was completely stony-faced. Like, it was fun sledging. It wasn't hectic.
Was it music-related sledging?
No music-related sledging. I can't remember what I was saying to him. But he was...
Chord you're playing that song.
Yeah. But he was like taking center, looking at the field, the whole thing. He was into it. Yeah. He's classic, Robert.
You recently played a game with Adam Gilchrist?
I did.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm. They were naming a stand after him in Lismore. At the sports ground. That's where he's from. Yeah. And he invited me to play, and I was like, yeah, I mean, I know Gilly pretty well, and he's a lovely bloke. So I said yes. And then the day before, I found out he was doing promo for it, and he's talking on the radio saying that I'm opening the batting with him. And I was like, what are you on? There's no way. I hadn't played cricket for 10 years or 15 since I played for the Bulls Masters.
Back then.
Yeah, back then. Yeah. And so I opened the batting with Gilchrist. Wow. And there was like 3,000 or 4,000 people there. It was crazy. It was some fundraiser as well.
We got the 50 first.
Yeah. Well, do you know what happened?
Yeah.
I ran him out. And it was his charity day. So, but what happened was, like, I honestly hadn't played cricket for ages. It was 36 degrees. I was batting. I had a kid's helmet on, so I could barely see. I'd never batted in a helmet before. Fully padded up in like a New South Wales kit too. It was disgusting. It felt totally wrong on me. And I was boiling to death. Right. And I was batting for about 5 overs, and I was like, okay, I've had enough. I'd face Bickle, or Andy Bickle, and Dan Christian, and a couple of the that bowled.
Did Sock that as well?
Yeah, and O'Keefe. I don't think I didn't actually get to face him, but so O'Keefe was at mid-wicket, Bickle was at cover, and so in between overs I said to them, you guys, I've had enough. Can you run me out? right? So, and they were like, yeah. So
Yeah, sure, yeah, no worries.
And so I forgot about how competitive those guys are, even if they're 10 years out of the game. So I hit it to Bickle and just called yes and started running, and he threw it to Gilchrist.
Through the Achilles end. Oh.
And he was out. So he had to go off and then change shirts and come back on as another player. He was already 35 off about 4 balls or something.
There was always a Gilchrist brother who was rumoured to be better than it.
Yeah.
There's one in every family. It's like the wars. Yeah.
But it was a lot of fun. I haven't played for a long time. Most satisfying thing was that Pat Davin from Grinspoon bowled to me and I hit him for 4 through the covers.
What's your score when you ran Adam? Well, when you finally got out?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. I had 15 or something, but it was awful. That's the worst. What's it called? Barbecuing your partner, isn't it? Yeah.
Gilly's now got a tequila empire. Did he?
Yeah,
Did he bring his
No, that wasn't underway at that point.
You can actually speak that language. What is it? Well, it's close enough.
Where
Claro, is it? The last one.
Oh, yeah. Al Aquero. Yeah. El Aquero. It would be, yeah.
Por favor.
Yeah, por favor. Yeah, that's his new tequila, right?
Yeah. Did you drink it during the game?
No, that wasn't around at that point. This is 6 months ago, I guess, that happened. Yeah.
How'd you go on the weekend, kid?
Yeah.
I got barbecued.
That's why he's looking at me. So he's looking darts at me.
I could have run 2.
Yeah.
Yes.
But, it was one of those days. But, we live to fight another day. Bernard, I wanted to ask you, this question's been on my mind quite a bit, over the last, couple of weeks, what with, the unknown pleasures gate in Australian politics. And, the business of dealing out sort of 45-year-old, album T-shirts.
Can we just explain here? You're talking about the Australian Prime Minister being criticised for wearing a Joy Division T-shirt.
That's right.
Yeah. So I was interested in, what you think of the idea of, invoking, albums so long after the event. It looked a suspiciously new T-shirt too. that concerned.
Yeah.
And if you had to, if I assume that like most musos, you have a collection of T-shirts with various musical, inspirations. What would be the one, if you had to choose, if you had to run into a blazing house fire and retrieve one T-shirt, what would it be?
There's a Beatles Abbey Road shirt that I bought in New York you've got the wristband on.
Yeah. We went for dinner.
Yeah. That I bought in New York in, I don't know, the 90s, I guess.
Yeah.
And that's the one that
at
I
the
would
CBGB. You bought it at a CBGB.
No, it's just some vintage store, but it's just always, it's held a very special place in my heart. CBGBs, we played there. That place is a shithole. Yeah, it's an absolute shithole.
I'd be disappointed were it otherwise.
Yeah.
Come on. How bad was it?
It was terrible.
Yeah.
It was absolutely terrible. But, it's got all the mythology around it. But it really is a full-blown dive bar
on Houston, isn't it?
I can't remember. Yeah. But total terrible PA, sounds terrible. No one in the place can see.
Yeah.
But that's where the scene came from.
It kind of looks like a condemned urinal, doesn't it?
Is it even there still? Is it still there? It's gone now, right?
Yeah, it's gone.
Yeah. But we managed to play there in the late 90s, I guess.
Gideon clearly has an answer to his own questions too. So
Gid, sorry. Please continue.
God forbid the Cogatorium was on fire. Forget the books. Which T-shirt are you going?
Oh, yeah, it's a good question.
Abbey Road, What are you going for?
Yeah, I have a very, very, very faded Hex Induction Hour T-shirt.
Yeah, I thought it was.
That's almost unintelligible.
Yeah.
But sort of in a way that's appropriate.
Yeah. That's almost the diametric opposite to an Abbey Road T-shirt, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just about.
Just reading about Paul McCartney. There's an extract from the Wings book in The Guardian today.
Oh, really?
About when he left the Beatles and he went to Scotland and lived on the farm. And he went hard.
Kintyre.
He was shearing sheep and stuff.
Yeah, he did.
With clippers.
Yeah, didn't they have no power as well, maybe, at some point? Yeah,
in Scotland, which would be really nice, wouldn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, McCartney really has taken a lot of shit over the years for his part in but he was trying to keep the band together by the looks of it.
Yeah.
But isn't it just that he's kind of embarrassing? That's part of what it is. He's a bit of a tool.
He's like a genius dag.
That's kind of what it is.
Most gifted dag on earth. But it was an interesting period. It reminded me of when you wrote this album. It was that kind of, the band had just, you'd walked away from the band and all the noise, and he went out there and he had a guitar, and I think he bought a 4-track, which was very fancy.
Is this for Ram? This is even before Wings, or is this a Wings record?
The first one.
Ram was his first one, wasn't it? McCartney's.
Was it?
It was called.
Was there a self-titled one then?
Yes, there was. Yeah.
Which had, had another sort of almost hymn-like love song was the single. Anyway, doesn't matter.
So Bernard, with Powderfinger, was there a single moment where you sort of realised that the band had kind of run its race? That you went, it doesn't feel the same, or I think we need to see other people, or
Not particularly a single moment. I mean, in this context with Tea and Sympathy, when I made a record, that was just, we were having a hiatus. We just had it. We're having a year off.
They were doing other things as well, weren't they?
4 out of the 5 of us made records. Yeah. But I think the thing that actually ticked it over for me was a few years prior to us actually stopping, was my wife Andrea had to undergo heart surgery in Spain.
Yeah.
And we had... And the date for that surgery kept moving around because it was pretty urgent. And there was a Powderfinger show booked in Australia. So we ended up having to extend our stay in Spain. But I ended up having to leave her a few days after the operation and fly back to Australia to do a show. And I was like, okay, fuck it. I'm not in total control here. And I think that's probably the main, and that was not anybody's fault. That wasn't anybody in the band's fault or management or anything. It was just once you are in that situation, we were headlining a massive show in Adelaide or whatever it is. There was no real way to change it. And I just realized that I would not be able to. I didn't want to be in that position where I wasn't making the calls about what was happening in my life.
Do you like performing? Do you get a buzz?
I love it now. I used to not like it at all.
You were terrified in the early days.
I didn't enjoy it, and I really like it in general now. I realize how little is at stake now. I think I used to think, it's a concert.
Yeah,
it's okay, and if it doesn't go well, it's a concert. I mean, you never want to disappoint people. No. But I think that was part of the thing for me, was that my expectations were so high about making sure that we delivered. And that people that spent a lot of money on tickets got their value out of it, and they enjoyed it. And I think now that I'm more relaxed, people enjoy it even more.
Was there also a sense that with Powderfinger that there was stuff that you just could not do with the band? It's a little bit like, if you're in a cricket team and you've always wanted to open the bowling, but your teammates know that you're shit, you'll never get the chance.
Absolutely. I mean, I would never have been able to make this record with Powderfinger.
No.
I mean, just firstly, the amount of space that's on it. There's also, I think there's one guitar solo on this record, or maybe 2. Powderfinger had 2 guitarists.
We're in a bit Dave Rawlings territory then, weren't you?
Yeah.
Which is kind of noodly.
So I just didn't, I knew that I wasn't going to be able to make a record like that with the band. And so it was really obvious to me that was going to be the case. So it was an easy decision to make.
Was it obvious to the other band members?
Not really. I mean, I think there's a little bit of myth has grown up around acrimony amongst Powderfinger. I mean, we actually get on better now probably than we ever have since the early days. And that's partly because we've all had children. And we know that being in a band is 100 times easier than being a parent. Right? So no matter what the circumstances are. And I think also because at the time we were always trying to move forward, we didn't kind of indulge in our successes or anything like that. We were always trying to do something new that we didn't. Now we look back, now we've had the chance to look back at what the things that we did. We love it and we're really proud of what we did. And that's, I guess that feeds in a little bit into this thing of an anniversary tour. You know, nostalgia can be very dangerous for, you know, I mean, politically it is. It's horrendous. But there's something now that's happening in this environment that we're in the world where there's just information and shit and difficulty coming at us constantly that I'm finding nostalgia quite appealing, you know, even nostalgia cricket wise and stuff like that, where I'm thinking about the Windies and thinking about Viv Richards and that stuff, you know, like thinking about that time when I was a kid and I watched cricket and how much it meant to me and those sort of feelings, right?
You'll start doing genealogy soon. Watch it. I started on this course. I've been through this phase. Are you still as creative as you were as a young person?
No.
Do you still have that creative drive?
I've still got the drive. I just don't have the opportunity because I've got children.
Right.
You know, and I've got different kinds of obligation. I've got an elderly parent as well and just different things in your life, you know.
Your mum was
my mum,
at the show the other night.
She was at the show the other night. She's due to turn 95 any day now. So
did you name your new, and Bernard's got a new guitar, which he's named after his mum.
Yeah, it's called Maggie, yeah.
That's really sweet.
So yeah, there's a little bit of sentimentality involved there.
Just a bit, yeah.
But you know, I don't know. I'm interested to know what you think, Gideon, about anniversaries for records and stuff like that, because there's a really strong argument by either way. I think
against it
and for it. Yeah, is the danger of kind of dipping too far into sentimentality and nostalgia, or just is it okay to just try and make yourself feel good about things that have happened in the past?
As long as an anniversary isn't simply a celebration or a repetition, I think it's good to take the opportunity to kind of play with it. To look at it in a different light, but an anniversary that simply restates the obvious, the things that have been said before, is just a marketing opportunity. So, I got sort of no particular sympathy with that.
I agree with that absolutely, and we've changed it. Like we're not playing the record in order or anything like that, and the arrangements are slightly different. And we're playing some new songs and other songs that weren't. That we recorded that weren't included at the time. I went and saw Supergrass recently. They did an anniversary, must be 20th anniversary, 30th maybe, of I Should Coco, which was their first record. But they played it front to back, and that was it. It was just it was just the record.
Wow.
I mean, they were good. They were still really good, that band.
Tom Waits has gone back and done some of his early stuff like Tom Trabbett's Blues.
Oh, really?
Like that. And it's really interesting to revisit it on that level, you know, because he kind of wrote as an old man when he was a young man. So he's now almost, he's grown into the song.
And he's just been so inventive his entire career. What would be really interesting would be for him to go back and do his first record, because it was quite traditional and it's like piano ballads and whatnot.
Closing time.
Yeah. Because he after that record, he shifted immediately into a different sort of style, didn't he?
There are some artists who kind of grow into their material, I think, in a way, like John Prine and Leonard Cohen. I thought Leonard Cohen was probably at his peak in that last 10 years of his life, in a way. You saw Ray Charles quite late.
I saw Ray Charles. That was one of the best things I've ever seen.
I remember that from a Q&A I did with you 35 years ago.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah, right.
For the Daily Telegraph. Yeah, and you nominated Ray Charles as the best
that was
singer you'd seen.
His best singer I've seen by miles, yeah.
I saw They Might Be Giants do Flood recently, which was terrific. Mm-hmm. And I saw the Breeders maybe a few months before that, and they did most of Last Splash, and it just sounded great.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's and actually one of the pleasures of my kind of listening history recently is introducing my daughter to these records that I've really loved and seeing what not all of it works, but when it does, it's very rewarding. It's very bonding to appreciate music together.
Isn't it? When we were on this family trip, actually just recently, we were driving around and Gabriella, my daughter, took control of the stereo and played a Radiohead song. I mean, she's only 15. Wow. And I was like, where did this? It was a song from OK Computer. And I was like, where did this come from? And she said, well, I first heard it on Stranger Things. And
I was going to say,
then it's become a TikTok meme or whatever. But that's, we were talking before about the access to music and whatnot. There are distinct advantages. These kids have access to the entire history of recorded music for nothing. And they do get to hear, to hear this great stuff. But you're right. Sharing that with your kids is just amazing.
Well, it's one of the few things that I share with my kids. It's called Powderfinger. So our kids grew up in the back of the Camry, listening to Powderfinger. Yeah, right. And my son said to me, the son's really impressed that Bernard Fanning's on the podcast. It's the first time I've impressed my son. Thank you.
Yeah, no worries.
Are they as big as I think they are? And I said, yeah. He says, God, when I was a kid, they were just music. Yeah, right. Yeah. But you get a bit of that with Powderfinger, don't you? A lot of younger people grew up listening to them.
Oh, they did. Yeah. And to a certain extent, this record, because when this came out, Powderfinger was as big as it had been. It was 2005. We'd had Vulture Street out, and it was, we'd done some pretty big touring and been at it for 15 years constantly. Yes. And so a lot of kids, people who were kids then who are now 30, this was some of the first music they listened to.
This stayed in the charts for a year, didn't it?
Apparently.
I did. I did.
Someone said that to me this morning. I don't know. I don't really keep track of that stuff.
I probably did the same Google search I did that interview.
So, Bernard, Pete and I sometimes get asked about journalism and, what it's like to be a journalist. And I often think, I've really enjoyed journalism for 42 years or whatever it is I've been doing it, but I wouldn't want to be starting now. Oh, yeah. Do you feel the same way about music, that you've had a great time, but you wouldn't want to be starting now?
Yeah, I definitely have that inkling that it would be incredibly difficult now. But at the same time, I've got that kind of old flame inside me that, every 10 years someone says Rocky's dead. And they're wrong. Or every 10 years they're wrong because a few years later someone with skinny hips and great hair comes along and a great voice and all of a sudden Rock's alive again. And it doesn't have to be that. I mean, there's a new band, a Brooklyn band called Geese. I don't know if you guys.
Oh, it came up on the last pod.
We recommended them on the last pod.
I mean that
guy.
Oh, they're just awesome. The whole band.
And that whole sound.
The drummer, he's wild.
It's best I've heard since Jim White.
Oh, yeah, so good. And I'm glad you guys are onto it because that gives me hope that something like that is kind of exploding. Into the consciousness of people who are in their 20s. And I've actually sent it to my daughter and said, listen to this. You might not like it right away, but persevere because you will get rewarded by this.
I sent it to my daughter too, because we're both suckers for babies, and there's a baby in that film.
Yeah, that video is amazing as well.
I think it's an AI.
I mean, that band seemed like the real deal, don't they? Like the full
Have you watched them play those KEXP shows or that, which I love watching those little studio shows.
I actually I like the new record. I haven't listened to it heaps, but their last record, 3D Country, is an absolute banger. Yeah, really great.
I'm a bit late to this one.
Yeah.
In fact, I like this note of hope so much that I think it's a great opportunity to close the podcast.
Sure.
Because frequently we close the podcast on a severely lugubrious, slightly melancholic note. So I've been conscious of this for a while. So I'm going to say, It's time.
Yeah.
It's time. Unless, Bernard, you'd like to play an encore.
No, just turn Misery Guts off, please. Thanks for having me, fellas. I've always really enjoyed talking to you two.
And you are a subscriber, aren't you?
I am.
So
I am. I think I got in under the old salary cap.
That's the way.
Yeah.
can you use that voice of yours to sort of tell people that they should subscribe?
Oh, okay. Hello, it's Bernard Fanning here. I would like to very strongly recommend that you take your hard-earned dollars and contribute to the incredibly luxurious lifestyle that Gideon and Peter are now living. The largesse is unbelievable.
Jesus, some Byron Bay millionaire.
Yeah. Okay. No, ladies and gents, honestly, Cricket et al. is my favourite form of information about cricket these days. I would strongly suggest that you subscribe to the podcast and follow the Substack, because it's the best source of cricket information in this country, I would say, worldwide.
And we should return serve and tell people to get out, order the 20th anniversary edition of Tea and Sympathy. It is a great record. I'm sure you all know it. And buy tickets like my sister did this morning. She got up very early and bought tickets for the Palais show.
Fantastic.
Where's the Sydney show?
State Theatre.
What's the date of the State
Well,
Theatre
it's just
show?
moved. I just got a text before the pod actually saying that the first one is exhausted and they've moved into a second show.
Jeez.
Which is fantastic.
I've got to get online. Friday, the 20th of March at the State Theatre.
Right.
Yeah, so it'll be Thursday. The
Thursday the 19th, the new one.
Oh, that's the new one. Yeah,
Okay.
right. Yeah, the Thursday is the new one.
Oh, and you're playing at Anita's in Thurrool.
Anita's in
I
Thurrool.
like Thurrool.
That's great.
Great place.
Yeah.
Great place.
See you at the Palais, Gid.
down there.
Indeed.
Yes.
Indeed. Looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Bernard, been great to have you with us on Cricket et al. This week. We'll be back next week with a slightly more orthodox show, rather duller.
No, we're going to be back before then, because we've got a very special guest on midweek. I don't know if you'd forgotten about that.
Yeah.
We're interviewing the author, who is Wallace, the enigma of the world's oldest prisoner. We're going to have Gideon Haig on as a special guest.
Fantastic. Okay, unreal.
There it is. There's the book. Love the book, Gideon. It's fantastic.
Thank you.
And then a squad announcement pod, surely.
A squad announcement. Well,
He's got a point there, Pete. Yep. A responsible cricket podcast would have thought of that some time ago. But Bernard, thanks very much for the idea.
A responsible cricket podcast might have mentioned that there was a Women's World Cup final last night.
Yeah.
Actually, what happened?
India won.
India won it.
Yeah.
Which does seem justice, because India knocked Australia out.
Yeah.
And Australia crapped all over South Africa. But that watch Wolverhampton bat. Gee, she's good.
I haven't been able to catch it because it's all on Prime. I haven't got it.
It's free.
What?
There was no subscription for this World Cup.
I thought it was on Amazon.
Subscription.
Yeah.
It was.
It was free.
They lifted the
I didn't see a ball of it.
Oh, it's been.
I was reading about it.
Well,
it was a really good World Cup.
It's a bit like Australia's 1999 World Cup campaign, where they're almost out.
Yeah.
And, they've come home with a wet sail.
Yeah.
So it's, and it was a really good final.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Okay.
India always looked like edging it, but they clearly just, they were thrilled, absolutely thrilled. And what a moment to win a World Cup on your home soil. It's like, it's a cross between 1999 and 2011 for India.
I'll have to give the Shield a rest. And
it's going to have a significant impact on women's cricket, I reckon. When India win a World Cup,
oh God, yeah,
it goes up a notch, doesn't it? So that'll be fantastic.
Okay. Thanks very much for joining us on Cricket et al. This week. That's all we've got time for. But until next time, whenever that may be, we'll get around to it at some stage. It's goodbye from me.
And it's good night from him.
It's good night from Bernard.
And good night from me.